Okay, so now how do we get the perimeter of this figure? We just add this length, we add this length, we add this length, and this length, and this length. That's the perimeter of the figure. So that means we add these together. So when we add this together, we get the r square, because r square should be added together. That gives you 6r squared. And you get this r, means the r is together, the r together should be added, which will give you 8r. And also the numbers should be added together, which is this 5 and this 5, right? So you get how much? 10, right? Anything left?
R cube.
Yes, we have r cube here alone, so will be r cube here in the top. That's it. So this is all added together. So this will be the perimeter, okay? Which is answer number D. Okay? So that's about the first question. Now looking at the next question, which is again I simplify by writing exhibition with positive exponents. Again, very similar question to what we did before, just with different numbers. Right? So you're looking at the A's together. Look at the A's here. See the A here and this A here. This should be you can apply the rule together, these two together, right? So it will be what? It will be A power minus 2 minus 9 according to the rule. I'm subtracting the power that's down, right? And also I can do the same for those. Okay, I can do the same for those. So it will be B power 5 minus 8. The one up minus the one down. I don't care who is positive and who is negative. And I always know that the answer according to the rule is always up. Okay? So now let's look at these two together, 3 and 15. You can just cancel this with this. You get 5 here and get 1 here, right? Because the 15 is 5 times 3. You cancel 3 with 3. Or you can divide 3 by 3 up and divide by 3 also down. You see how I got the numbers to be 5 down? Okay, any question about that? So the next part after that is to look at because he said I want exponent to be positive. How do I make positive exponents? I need to make sure any negative exponent change the position of the whole exponential exhibition. So the first one is A minus 2 minus 9 will be minus 2 plus 9. So this is minus 2 plus 9. So this will be plus 9. Okay? Which is 7. It's already positive. But the B, 5 minus 8 will be minus 3. This B power minus 3 will come down to become B power 3, and you still have A power 7 here, and the 5. So this will be the final answer. Okay? And I think it's obviously that it is answer number A power 7 divided by 5 B power 3. See that what happens? So this is a question that comes a lot and quizzes is coming again here. But let's look at the next question. Next question is actually factoring, so we're going to talk about factoring now. Okay, let's look at what else we have. So let's talk about, again, I have a number of operations I have to do. Just numbers without calculator. I have to do this. You see this 2 multiplied by minus 9 and then I divide by 2 minus 1. When you have a fraction like this, you should simplify up and simplify down according to the order of operations. Remember the order of operation. The first thing in the order of operation, number 1, is the grouping symbols. What are the grouping symbols? If you have brackets or parentheses or one of these, or even the fraction bar. This is a fraction bar. What does it mean? The fraction bar is grouping the numbers into 2 groups. The first group is called the numerator up. The second group is the denominator down. And that means you should simplify up and should simplify down before you do anything. After that you divide. That is the main idea. Okay? And then when you look up what you have, you see you have a multiplication. Minus 2, and there is nothing written. There is no plus, there is no minus, there is nothing. Just bracket after that. So that means what? That means multiplication. So when you multiply, minus 2 times minus 9, minus is plus. So there will be positive 18. This is multiplication. Right. Down you don't have multiplication, you have subtraction because there is a minus here, between them. So you have 2 terms. So be careful. This is 2 minus 1, we're not multiplying, we're subtracting. Subtracting negative is like adding positive. It's like adding positive. Positive what? add with positive 1. It's like 2 plus 1, which is equal to 3. So 18 over 3, which is equal to 6. So that's the answer. That's the answer. Okay, now? Without calculating. You have to know the order of operation, you know how to do these things in order. Okay, if not, if you don't know, that means simply you go back again to working with numbers. Okay, you need to remember how numbers are added. Okay, where are numbers? This is integers. You go back to remember how do we add. Okay, positive was negative, or negative was negative. What was the idea? Okay, if positive it looks like this, if negative looks like this. Okay, you need to remember that. You need to remember how they multiply. What are the sign rule for multiplication? Okay, if you remember that when you multiply positive times positive, next times negative, what will happen? Okay, and if this is still you have a weakness, then you have to go back to that big website, the full website, which is this one, because here you find more questions and more practice. Okay, especially in this beginning things, you have more questions, more practice. Maybe if you don't find your answer in the simplified one, it will be in the full one. But here you have a various, you know, sign rule. I expect everyone to know it, but if you don't know it, then you need to go back to the full website that has more examples and go back to study these basics and so testing yourself in these reviews will let you know what your actual level is. I will tell you where's your weaknesses, and once you know your weaknesses, you should go back to these, you know, the previous examples that are already solved in the website to check, you know, where are these weaknesses and how you can improve these weaknesses. Okay. Okay, so that's the question here. Okay, what with radical? We did this already before. You should know it by now. 11 power 7 power 7 over 2. That's basically, remember the 2 down means square root, and the 7 up means power 7. So where is power 7 in the square root? Let me just make the whole thing appear. No, it is D. The square root of 7 is here. Okay, sorry, square root of 11 is here, and the power 7 is also here. So this is the answer. Very simple question, a very simple idea. You should know what the meaning of rational exponent. Okay, now identify the polynomial as monomial, binomial, or something else. Okay, this is monomial or binomial or trinomial. Remember, monomial means one term, binomial means 2 terms, trinomial means 3 terms. So that is trinomial. First of all, this is trinomial, right? Because you have 1, 2, 3 terms. So it's either this trinomial or this trinomial or this trinomial. The degree is the highest power. What is the highest power? 4. So this must be the right answer. This must be the right answer. Clear? Simple idea. Do you think you can make mistake in these kind of questions? That would be bad, right? Very easy. Okay. Let's look what we have next. Identify the base again and the exponent. Who is the base?
X.
Minus 6x.
6 minus x.
Minus 6x.
No, the 6x. The exponent 5.
Right. If you choose, so this is A or B or C or D?
C.
C. The base is minus 6x. Wrong answer. 1. We said if you want more than one thing to be in the base, you have to put it in bracket. Do you see any bracket here?
No.
No. So that means 5 is only on the x. There's nothing else. The base is just x. Minus 6 is actually outside. And usually I like to write it with colors. But in the exam there will be no colors. In the exam there will be no colors. But you should know that the 5 is only on the x. Unless if there is bracket. Unless if there is bracket. There's no bracket, there's no parentheses, there's no grouping here. So that means the 5 is on the x only. So the base is just 5. This is the base. Okay? Sorry, the base is just x. The base is just x and the exponent is 5. So which answer now? B. So be careful. It's a very simple question, but it's important. It's important. So the next one, division again. Let's do this division, interesting division. Okay, let's do this division here. Long division, yes. Okay. Maybe for this long division, I'm gonna open this. I just need any simple even paint to work. Okay, so I have here what? I have here x squared plus 12, x plus 32. This is divided by x plus 8. Okay?
X.
And let me just bring this down a little bit. How to do this? I don't know how to use new word. Anyway, خلاص. So x squared divided by x is equal what?
X.
Is equal to x. You take this x multiplied by these two, so you get x squared plus 8x, right?
Yes.
And then you subtract to get the difference. Okay, there's all 0 here, and then 12 minus 8
4.
is 4x. Okay, and then the next step is to bring this down, so it becomes plus 32 down, and you divide again. Divide the 4x divided by the x,
9 plus 9.
you get 4. Just 4.
4 of 9.
Yeah, this is 4. 4 times x plus 8 will give you 4x, and multiplied by the 8 will give you also 32. That means when you get the difference, nothing remains. It will be 0 and 0. It will be 0 and 0, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that means what? That means that the answer will be x plus 4, no remainder. The answer is x plus 4 and no remainder. Okay. So that means that the answer will be x plus 4, that's it, no remainder. Okay? Clear? Any question about this? Yeah. That's a very easy one. Now, multiply, write your answer in a plus bi form. Very interesting question, but this is not multiply, this is power. How come you say multiply while this is actually power? Because this is what the power actually is. The power is to multiply something by itself, right? The power is to multiply something by itself. So you can think of this, as what? As minus 3 plus 8i multiplied by minus 3 plus 8i. You can think of it this way. But you don't have to think of it this way. But that's just one way to think about it. Okay? You don't have to do that. You can just apply the complete square rule that we just had today in the morning. What was the rule? Who remembers the rule? The first square, the second square, and then 2 times first times second. Okay? Right. Mu'ayyad. The first square is what?
Minus 9.
The first square, positive or negative? Positive 9. Right. The second square is what?
Negative.
Negative what? The second square. This is khalas, when you square it become 9. This is when you square it become what?
64.
64 I square. And I square we said it's equal what? Minus 1. So you can just remove this and write minus 64. Why minus 64? Because I square is minus 1. And it's already multiplied. Remember that? Okay. That's it, finished? Or something is missing?
No. Yes.
It's 2 times first times second. Something usually people forget. 2 times first times second. Okay?
It's easier when you do it, when you write.
See, if you stop here, the answer will be what? Will be minus 55. And you already find the answer. You think this is it. Khalas. Okay, and then I come when I grade, I tell you, sorry, this is the wrong answer. See the multiple choice, how tricky it is sometimes? Okay? In fact, you still have missing an important term, which is the first time, second times 2. So you still have 2 times minus 3 times 8i. According to the complete square rule, and if you remember the complete square, say what? Say a plus b squared is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Usually people do this, and then they forget this one. 2ab. So in this case, the second part will be imaginary. 2 times minus 3 is minus 6, and then minus 6 times 8 is minus 48. This will be minus 48 I. Minus 48 I. That's why it's a complex number. The real part is minus 55, and the imaginary part is minus 48 I. Okay, this is a complex number. Clear now? This is really not a difficult question, so you really shouldn't make a mistake here. Any questions? Okay. We'll move on to the next one. Okay, so now the next one seems to be again exponents. Again, exponents. So we have this.
You have to take the negatives.
See, you can apply the power. But something is very interesting here. This is 3m and this is 6m. You can apply the power first, or you can change the position first. Which one you would like to do? Huh?
Change the
Oh, let's apply the power. Okay? Would someone like to change? Let's change. The whole thing will come down. The 3m completely will come down so that the power here become 6. And also, the same thing. The 6m completely will go up for the power to become positive 7. Now all the powers are positive. Now I can apply the power. When you apply the power, 7 will go here and here, right? On the 6 and on the m. So it will be 6 times power 7 and also m power 7. And down it will be 3 power 6 and m power 6. خلاص? Okay. Type. In this case, the m together is very easy. Just the rule 7 minus 6 is just m. You just add 1 m here, right? The numbers together, if you have calculator, you can do it. If you don't have calculator, then you should think. See the 6 and the 3, they're very close. 6 like 2 times 3, isn't it? I'm just going to erase this 6. I'm going to write it 2 times 3, like that. Is that okay? And in this case, the 7 will be on both. So this 7 actually, I'm just going to write it as 2 power 7 and also 3 power 7. See what happens? Is that complicated? Yes. Okay? Okay. If you have a calculator, you can just do it with calculator. If you don't have a calculator, then think of let me do it another line. Okay. Again, this was 6 power 7. Leave it as it is. خلاص. I write 6 power 7. I write it to 3 times 2. Okay. Times 2 power 7. Okay.
You have to factor.
So the quiz we don't have calculator.
In the quiz, you're not allowed to use calculator. Yes.
So how will you solve it?
That's what I'm doing now. I'll try to bring small numbers, okay, but that's what I'm trying to do now. It's not that really big deal. Apply the power on the 3 and on the 2, because you see a 3 here. So it is 3 power 7, 2 power 7, plus we have n now after that. Okay, and then we have 3 power 7. Oh, sorry, this is 3 power 6. This is 6. Okay, now we have this 3 with the 3 power 7 power 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. So you just have a 3. The answer will be 3 here times 2 power 7 and then power m, and then stop here. Okay, stop here. Okay? That is if there is no multiple choice. But in fact, here you have a multiple choice and you don't have to do that. You know why? Because already the answer is obvious from the beginning. Once you stop here, once it was this 6 in the beginning, you got 6 here. It's already there. See that question here? Where's the answer?
D.
D or C,
C.
B or A?
D. C. D.
D, yeah, it says it, yeah. D. 6 power 7, that's already 6 power 7 here.
Right.
6 power 7 here, 3 power 6 here already, that's it, right? And then I have the m outside after simplification. So this is the right answer. This is the right answer. Okay? Any questions about that? I just want to do a little bit of trick here, since you're not using these calculators, and you have to be able to be, do things, small things with numbers. You should be comfortable with numbers if you're not using calculators. Okay. What happened?
It's a new bit.
I did something. I clicked somewhere. We're supposed to be here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now we solve this one, and let's go multiple something we didn't take yet. You should be able to divide fractions. This is very similar to the question I think in my website, isn't it? And if you don't remember, go back, see how we multiply and divide fractions. So where's fractions? This is fractions. This is how you multiply and divide. And the idea of dividing is what? Common denominator? Yes or no?
Yes.
No, wrong. I was tricking you. We don't have common denominator here. All what we have to do is to convert division to multiplication, like this, and then multiply up by up, down by up. See? We don't need a common denominator. We use a common denominator only in the case of subtraction and addition. Yeah, addition and subtraction use common denominator. But here we don't need common denominator. Here we just, once we convert division to multiplication, we factor and then remove the common factors. Okay, up and down. Yeah.
When we use cross multiplication?
We never use cross multiplication in simplifying exhibitions at all. We only use it in solving equations.
Equal.
Equations. When we have equal, yeah, when you have equation like this, 3 over 4 and x over 8, for example. Here you do cross multiplications like this. Say, okay, x times 4, which is 4x, equal 3 times 8, like this, and then you solve and get x. Only in the case of equation. If you don't have equation, then we don't do that. Okay? So let's go back to the question. Now you know how to divide. Now you know how to divide, so let's go back to the division. I have here this division, so I will have to write it as 28 over 6, okay, multiplied by, I have to convert this to something else, which is 8 over 21. Okay? And then what? You need to factor the most common factors. What's 28? 4 times 7, which is 2 times 7. Isn't 28 4 times 7, right?
Yes.
Okay, and 6 is 2 times 3. Let's factor the other one. It's 2 times 2 times 2. You don't have to factor completely, but it's always better to factor completely so that you make sure all the factors are removed.
7 times 3.
And this is 7 times 3. And now you ask yourself, who's cancelling who? This 7 up, this 7 down. Anything up,
Yes.
you cancel anything, same thing down. So you have this 2 with this 2 also.
3. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. There's nothing else I can do. So I have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 16 up. And then I have 3 times 3 down, which is 9. So it's 16 over 9, which is this answer. Okay. I don't know how you can answer this without following the steps and doing it until the end. I mean, multiple choice is not going to really help you much on this. And if you're going to guess, if you think you can solve a quiz by guessing, then statistically, this says that the percentage of passing is like 0.0002%. It's really very small percentage. It's not going to work. You still have to learn how to do these things. Okay? So that is about question number 12. Any questions here?
So the exam will be multiple choice?
The exam will be half multiple choice and half not multiple choice. 50-50. Okay? Now, number 13, express in terms of I. Express in terms of I. And I want this to be written as I, because the square root of negative, we know square root of negative is not real number.
It's
So we have to find a way. What is the way? Before you tell me the final answer, what is the way? See, there is a property that says the square root of AB is equal to the square root of A, square root of B, isn't it? So you think of the minus 4 as what? As minus 1 times 4. The square root of minus 1 is already I, and the square root of 4 is already 2. So the answer will be 2I. Do you understand?
Yes.
So that's it. Whenever you have a minus inside the square root, this minus, to get rid of it, just put I. Outside, of course, not inside. Outside, I. Becomes square root of 4. First, square root of 4 is 2. Okay, yeah? So that's a very simple way of writing, because this will come, yeah, usually I don't ask questions like this, maybe now at the beginning, but usually this will come as part of a bigger problem. So you see square root of minus 4, you have to know what it means. It means 2I. Square root of minus 4 means 2I. Right, how about, just speaking about this, how about the square root of minus 5?
5.
Oh, not real number.
It's not a real number, it's imaginary number. I want to know how much is this imaginary number.
2.5. Square root.
And the 5.
5.
Plus or minus.
There's no plus or minus here. This is just plus. The answer here is just this, just plus. There's no minus. Class, we said 2I, finish. There's no minus.
5.
Yeah, not exactly.
Minus 5.
No. The square root of?
Minus 5.
5I, exactly. This is the square root of 5I. Now, the minus inside will just come outside as I. That's it. The minus inside, this one will come outside as I. That's it. And then square root of 5, if you know the number, suppose it's square root of 9, you write 3. But the square root of 8, something else, maybe you should simplify it. Okay? If you cannot simplify, just leave it. Let's do the 8. It is a very nice one. Alright, square root of minus 8.
2.
It will be
2 radical.
2
2 radical.
radical
2 minus.
I.
2 radical.
I, exactly, I. The minus came outside as I. Finish this story. And then the square root of 8 can be simplified. How do you simplify it? Remember, if you factor 8, it's 2 times 2 times 2, right? Anything with 2 i's will come outside one time. It came outside one time. What remain inside? This one. Remain inside this one. Okay? Again, this usually is a part of a bigger problem when we solve quadratic equations. When you solve quadratic equations, the answer can have this part. So you should know what it means. This is what it means. This is an imaginary number and this is the value. I'm writing it in radical form. Okay. Clear now? Okay, factor, we didn't take factoring yet. Add or subtract, we did this already, but let us do it again as another practice. Radical 6, radical 2, you cannot add them, but we have to simplify to be able to add. Maybe after simplifying you can add. So let's simplify 24. 24, if you factor it, you get what? 2 times 12, 2,
6,
2, 3, and 3, 1. Okay? Right, in this case, anything repeat twice. You see anything repeat twice? This is repeating twice already, right? Okay, so this will come outside as 2. I mean, the square root of radical 4 becomes 2 radical what? 6. This remains inside, right? So this will be 6. That's it. And that's what I want. Now I can write my problem like this. I can write minus 6 radical 6 plus 2. This 2 multiplied by this 2, right? Multiplied by this 2 here, right? And then also radical 6. Okay? This radical 6. I just replaced the square root of 24. Now, this is minus 6 radical 6 plus 4 radical 6, which is minus 2 radical 6. Minus 2 radical 6. That's the final answer, which is this one. Okay now? Clear? And that's it. We finished the second quiz, and this is all the answers. After that, you can look at the answers when you do this, practice at home. You can find the answers here. Okay? Any questions?
Then